Welcome to the Immortal Podcast.
All right, Immortal Cast, motherfuckers. You guys ready? We got the man on today, the legend, Mark the motherfucking Hammer Coleman.
Feeling a little bit sick, man. I don't get sick, but let's go.
Let's go.
Ask me some questions.
I ain't got no questions for you. I already know you.
All right.
And co-host Brother Roddy over here.
And it's good to be here. It's good to be in Ohio. It's cold.
It's fucking cold, right?
It's just snowing.
It's good for you.
It's good for you,
Makes
man.
you strong.
I've been hitting the sauna a lot, so when you coming over to the sauna, Coleman?
Today.
All right, let's go.
I'm serious.
Yeah, I'll do it
Be
tonight.
nice.
Just finished working on it, actually. We got some insulation in it, so it's a hell of a lot nicer, too.
How hot's it get?
I don't know, we were around 160, 170 last night, it felt like.
Oh, man.
That's good.
I mean, it's only 0 degrees outside.
How long do you stay in it when you're in there?
You know what? I don't actually, time it anymore. I used to do that shit. Now, I enjoy my time. I'm saying I don't force myself to stay longer because the fucking timer isn't over. You know? Same with the cold plunge. I do it every morning. I used to make sure it was 3 minutes, right? Try to do it. Well, just go out. Doing it is more important than how long you do it.
Let me ask you guys this. When you guys were fighting, was this a part of your regiment? The saunas, cold plunges?
I wish it was.
Was it even a thing?
No, it's just, I
should have,
I know
right?
a lot more now than I did back then. It'd have been real cool. I'm way more disciplined now, but I would have been doing saunas and cold plunges all the time.
Man.
Cold showers daily, 2 or 3 a day. So I need a cold plunge, but shower works. When it's moving water, it feels pretty damn so.
You haven't used a cold plunge
Just
yet, have
instant
you?
energy, man. Just cold plunge, just energy for hours afterwards.
It's better than any coffee I ever had. You haven't used my cold plunge yet, have you?
No, I got one coming myself.
Do you? With a chiller?
I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta have a chiller. Mine has, so I can adjust the temperature, right? Instead of just dumping a bunch of ice in it, which is, to me,
impossible. It's impossible.
It's fucking annoying. You can't do it every morning.
Well, you can do it now. You could keep water in it now.
Well, then you gotta keep it unfroze, though.
That's going to be a problem. You're going to be laid on an ice cube.
So I go every morning, and the temperature's there already. Right? I got usually about 40 degrees. First thing, before I look at my phone,
Yeah, there you go.
before I do anything. And there's nothing harder, in my opinion, than laying in that comfortable ass bed and making a decision I'm gonna go jump in this cold ass water.
Oh, especially last week with the snowstorm. That was that's definitely just a chill out day. You don't want to do anything. Like the whole weather. I've been staying at my mom's house and we were snowed in. I spent 45 minutes just digging out the driveway.
That was a good workout.
That's just that's what I did. That's only they have a little system there that comes and does it. But I'm like, I'm just gonna go outside and shovel snow for 45 minutes. And then when I was done, I was sweating, using muscles.
Oh, it was a grind.
Hockey when he was in Russia. Remember that? Running through the snow, lifting logs, working out. It was that kind of workout.
So yeah. So speaking of which, Coleman, that's your life now, right?
What?
Being healthy,
Health is
being
wealth.
sober.
It's everything. Health is everything. Being sober.
Man.
I'm addicted to exercise. It's been 3 years now. Body transformation. Liver King of me struck a deal. I hadn't worked out in 12 years, bro. I come into your gym and
I remember.
you kept looking at me. Nobody could. Nothing was working until all of a sudden Liver King said, "I'll pay you." So I looked at it as I'm getting paid to transform back. I'm not lying. I had some 19-hour days nonstop, 15-hour.
Yeah, tell me a normal day. Get up to the mic if you don't mind. Tell me a normal day in the life of Mark Coleman today.
I backed off quite a bit, but I still probably get at least 8 hours in a day of exercise, walking, yoga, stretching.
Routine, or you just making shit up as you
I
go
just
along?
keep changing it up, man.
Just
When
whatever
I
you
get
feel.
bored with something, when I'm in the car, I got a full routine I can do in the car. I train my toes, I train my feet, my fingers, my face. I train everything.
Everybody forgets about the toes and the fingers.
Oh, you got to train your toes and fingers, man. You got to train them hard. That's where it all starts.
I remember when you were sitting in the hospital, you sent over a message, or you did it online. You had a clip online where you was like, they weren't letting you go, and you was like, well, they won't let me go, but I could work out my face, and you started working your face out and this and that. Yeah.
You can work everything in the bed. Isometrics, man. There's just no excuses.
What is? Okay, let me ask you this, and I think this stands out for a lot of people that would be curious about it. how does the working out help you with your being sober now? And like, is there a big reason why? Is that part of the reason why? Does it keep your mind focused instead of letting it wander to like addiction or?
Well, that was the key. I was sober for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years, and it was brutally hard every day. I didn't want to drink, but I thought about it all the time, and I was like, man, it's going to be this hard the rest of my life, but then all of a sudden I struck that deal with Liver King, and that's it. That changed everything, and at first I could only get about 1.5 hours in, and I quickly had it up to 2, 3, 4 hours, and then whenever I'm training, I have no worries. I feel like I'm doing something, I'm accomplishing something, and I'm at total peace. There's no worries when I'm working out. That's why I do it, people. People tell me, sit down, old man, time's over, shut the fuck up. My time will never be over, ever.
That's what I like to hear.
I enjoy being sore. I'm sore right now from head to toe. And by the time night gets here, I'll be walking real slow. And I do walk carefully. I'm the slowest walker in the world. I'm not going to slip and fall. I'm not going to go out that way. So I'll take a risk of getting injured, but it'll be something important, not just
you work too hard.
You gotta be careful.
You work too hard. When you started, when you said, "Hey, fuck it, man, this is my life now." What kind of workout? What was your first cardio or just boxing? Just like
I went for an hour walk. That's it. Went for a walk. I lifted weights for about 10 minutes. You gotta understand, 12 years of drinking and doing nothing, man. It was brutal. It was ugly. I wasn't gonna start. Everybody tried to motivate me, but I wasn't going to start till I'm all in on everything I do. So and just all I just kept adding things and getting on Instagram, scrolling and looking at new movements. I'm all about changing.
And what was the thing that made you want to quit finally?
Drinking.
What kind of struck that nerve when you said, "All right, I'm done with this shit. I'm changing it today"?
Well, I never gave up, man. It was just I didn't handle things very well. I was angry, mad, and feeling self-pity for myself because things were going bad, but I never wanted to, I didn't want to die like that. I knew someday I was going to get it together. I was just waiting for the right time, and there's never a right time. Rock bottom can be anywhere, and I look back now, I was rock bottom for years, but it can always go lower, and then finally I'm staying at an extended stay hotel for over a year. Just a little piece of shit. Nobody came in that room for over a year. Nobody. And the whole room was a trash can.
What's up, everybody? It's Roddy from the Immortal Podcast with UFC legend and knockout artist Matt Brown. Quick plug for our official sponsor, VitaFuel. They just dropped their new creatine. Builds muscle, ramps up strength, and sharpens mental focus. Works great for guys, girls, young or old. It's never too early or too late to get after a fitness routine. Head to VitaFuel.com. Use Immortal10 for 10% off your first order. VitaFuel, VITAPHUEL.com. And hit subscribe on the Immortal Podcast. New episodes every week.
Wes told me about it, man. We got to give props to Wes for saving your life.
It was the most disgusting thing you could ever imagine. I didn't shower. I didn't shave for months and months and months. And every muscle in my body, none of it worked. I was all beat up from nothing major injuries, just lack of use. I was weak, pathetic. I couldn't even walk to the car without huffing and puffing. So, and then one day Wes Sims, somehow he got in there. You can't even get in that hotel without a key, but somehow he found his way in, up to my room. Came in the night before. It was 24/7. I didn't have hours. It was really non-stop drinking. Maybe take a little break. But Wes came over 10 o'clock at night, say a Friday night, and I don't really remember him coming in. He walked in and he seen this. I can't explain how disgusting it really was. But I just laid down in the bed and fell asleep. And then I got up multiple times throughout the night, go to the bathroom, but I didn't notice anything different in my room. And then the next morning, Wes came back, knocking on the door. I answered the door. I didn't remember him being there, but it started coming back to me. And then I had looked around, and he cleaned the whole room, took 20-some bags of trash out to the dumpster that night. And then he looked at me and said, "What are you trying to do, kill yourself?" No, absolutely not. I wasn't ready to quit. I I just wasn't ready to quit. And then White said, he said he had a rehab place lined up. And I said, no way, not today. Because I was on benzodiazepines and alcohol. Those were my two go-to drugs. And those are the two worst drugs you can take. Alcohol, withdrawing off that, cold turkey can kill you. And benzos, cold turkey can kill you. And I told Wes, I said, I'm not ready for that today. And I couldn't take that pain. But then as a druggie, I come up with the idea, because I wanted to get off the booze, but it just seemed impossible with the pain and the sickness. But I said, well, how about we call an ambulance and check into the hospital? Being a druggie, I knew they would give me pain meds, and I switched one for the other. I get off the booze with the use of the pain meds. And so we went that route, and Wes come every day to the hospital. I was there for a week, and I was sick. I remember the doctor looking down at me about the third day in there. I hadn't moved. It hurt, but I was getting through it with the pain meds. And I remember the doc looking down at me and he said, hey, Mark, he said, you got to take a fucking shower. You stink. And I just said, oh, I didn't want to get up and go take a shower, man. That's how pathetic it was. And then I got out of the hospital and went home to see Wes. Took me to my parents' house and shaved for the first time in months and months. And then I told Wes, we'll check into rehab tomorrow. And he put his foot down and said, we're checking in today. And I didn't fight, I didn't argue, and I checked in.
Even when you checked in, though, you had to make that decision to quit.
I checked in. It was by far the best decision I've ever made in my life, bar nothing, because it changed my life. Life is so good now. I'm at total peace, and I give credit to God. Yeah. He took away my obsession to drink, and I had to ask him, and I've got a real close relationship with him now, and he guides me, because you can go south with your mind. Everything begins with a thought, and if it's a bad thought and you keep it a bad thought, you can keep going down, but immediately you got to pull out of it. I like listening to Christian music, Christian rock, and whenever I do get in a little funk, there's about 4 or 5 songs that I love music, but I don't know the words to any songs. But now there's Christian rock. When one of these songs comes on, immediately just my whole body feels it, and I cry most of the time, tears of joy and happiness. So
I think a lot of people don't recognize, tell hell of good stories, how extreme it actually was, how close to death you probably actually were.
Well, I had a heart attack. I had a heart attack at 7 o'clock at night in this hotel. I didn't know it was a heart attack, just something really felt weird. And I couldn't get comfortable. I lay down in the bed. I kept trying to get comfortable. And if I could have fell asleep, I would have went to sleep. Probably would have died if that could have happened. But so then finally about 2 a.m. after fighting the whole time, I called my daughters and I told them something was going on. Felt like it. My heart, but
I'm talking the amount of alcohol.
Well, so at 2 a.m. I had called my daughters and they started screaming, "You gotta go to the hospital." I said, "I'm going in the morning." But then, thank God, I went that night, drank a beer on the way there, smoked a cigarette, checked in. Sure enough, it was a heart attack, and my artery. They said they never seen an artery this big, too big to even put a stent in, and they said it was 100% clogged. Jeez. So heart attack. So now they got to poke a hole through it to get the blood flowing through. So I remember laying there, you're still awake while they're doing this. And you can tell when they start to poke, it just really feels horrible, cringy, this and that. And then they kept trying and they couldn't get through. And then they looked at me and said, well, we'll send you up to your room and do some more blood work and see where we go from here. And they were actually talking about sending me home. I don't understand it, but they took more tests the next morning, and it was getting worse and worse. So they had to go back in and try to poke through it again. And if they don't get through it, they got to cut me wide open. So, man, this was getting scary. And then they're poking through it, and then finally I felt this big relief of they got through. And it was just like...
you just felt like the flow of blood coming in.
You just felt it, and I heard them screaming. So,
that's great.
But then, on the way home, I smoked a cigarette and got some beer. So...
And like that takes courage to what you're sharing right now.
I'm not ashamed. I'm not going to recover in silence like most people do. Mm-hmm. They're ashamed and they want to move on. but that's why nobody gets helped. So I'm very proud to bring this to the forefront because I'm proud that I know addiction better than I know fighting now, and that's saying a lot.
And I think God uses...
It's real simple. When you go, I went to rehab, I checked in, I stayed for 5 months. I told him I'd give him a month. I remember about the 30-day mark, a girl in there, she says, how's it going today, Mark? I said, it's going really good, really good. I'm just wondering when it's all going to fall apart. And she looked at me and she goes, well, maybe it never will. And here we are, 5 years.
Bro, 5 years.
Amen.
Best 5 years of my life, nothing even close. I was a mess, I was angry, I was scared of life, my whole life. I was a fighter, but I feared so many things. Now, I don't really fear anything.
I'm sure you get messages all the time with people being inspired by you too, right?
Well, that's what it's all about. I gotta give back. God could have been finished with me many times. He warned me many times, but he's got shit for me to do. Mm-hmm. And now that I get it, he's using me. And I love helping people in recovery, but I also love motivating people to get up off the couch, put the cheeseburgers down and get healthy, because to me, there's nothing. I like being strong. Why do I do this? Because grab that son of a bitch, Brown.
Fucking hit me before, bro. I know what you got.
I like being strong, but I like being strong for long, man.
Yeah.
I can hold these yoga poses forever.
Now,
it's truly amazing.
Is that your workout? Because you said you change it up every once in a while. So is yoga like something like that you're really, because yoga really, you have to use your mind. I do Pilates and I love it, and I've done yoga, but like yoga, your new focus in terms of the body, because you've been switching
it's just
it up.
One. I told you, I just change it up. Yoga is a big part of it, but I'm addicted to the weight room again now. I used to lift like a crazy man back in the day, but now I lift even more hard and more intense. Not nearly as heavy because I don't want to get hurt, but the effort I put into every set, I get fucking high.
It's amazing.
After every set, I stand up and I just feel it, and that's
okay,
what I like.
Now, I get messages pretty regularly asking for inspiration or somebody getting sober or is in a down spot or whatever. What do you tell somebody when they send you a message like this?
When they tell me they're struggling
They're struggling, man. I get these messages. And
I don't
sometimes
play around. I get them all the time, and they got a big, long story about what's going on and what's wrong, this and that. I don't play around. I don't give a shit. You're going to lose everybody if you can't check into rehab because you're going to lose everybody. No, you're going to get them all back. And the ones that don't come back weren't supposed to come back. Mm-hmm. So don't give me no excuses. Either check into rehab. It's the only chance you got. Mm-hmm. And it's only a 4% chance if you do check in. Only 4% of people make it. Mm-hmm. And you got to check in. You got to make a lot of changes. Changes for the better. You got to learn how to live life sober.
Do you continue? Alcohol... I have friends that have struggled with it and are sober I've had one buddy sober 10 years now. And he goes to AA and he's got his sponsors. Is that something that you have to do? Do you have to stay in a program just to...
You got to keep working the 12 steps the rest of your life. That's it. It's an everyday challenge. I've never went to an AA meeting that I wasn't glad I went. I never went to one that I didn't walk out of there saying that was the coolest thing ever. Mm-hmm. But I got to make sure I get there more often. Mm-hmm. You have a tendency to slack off, but AA is the most beautiful organization there is. Mm-hmm. Self-funded, that's why it's beautiful. Can't take donations and all that. Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty amazing. It's worldwide. You can walk into a meeting when you're struggling.
Can I ask you a question? Because it's something that I hold dear to me, is spirituality. I'm a God guy. I love God. And I heard you mention how close you are, but we just talked about the music and all that stuff. But when you finally, do you feel like now, is that a church? Do you go to church and do you fellowship? Is something that you like practice your working out? Or Matt and I talk about this offline a little bit, and there's different ways to take.
Well, we argue about it.
We argue about
debate.
it.
Yeah,
I'm not.
He's on crack in terms of that.
I respect it. Like I understand it.
Well, it's like
everybody has their own belief. It's not for me.
AA, they don't promote religion. They talk about your higher power because they don't want to push religion. Mine is God. Yeah. Other people have to find a higher power, somebody greater than ourself. that created all this shit that you could talk to.
Spirituality.
But like I just said, man, Christian rock is my go-to.
Yeah.
I know the words.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Christian rock band?
I don't know.
You don't know the names of bands?
No, I don't know the name.
I should have known.
No, I don't know the name.
What's the song?
Look what you've done to me. Something like that. Look what you've done to me. That when that song comes on,
it just touches your heart.
I'm gonna look it up.
Maybe it'll touch Matt's heart a little bit. He needs to hear that, get him in church. But Matt said that he goes to church. You said that you go to church. You told me you went to church. You said you go to church and walk around.
No,
hell no.
Didn't.
You didn't tell me that. I swear to God,
Dude, I've been to church since I was a little kid.
I need to get to church more often. As a Catholic growing up, I went to church three times a week. That's what we were required.
Are you
to
still
do.
Catholic?
Well, I don't know what I am.
I think as you grow, like you turn.
I mean, any religion is okay with me.
Yeah.
But and there's problems with all the religions.
Absolutely.
Catholics have some problems, but you know, just.
Well, I mean, I think being in like Matt and I were having a discussion. I swear that you said something on. Just hear me out because maybe it'll jar.
No, I said I'm thinking about it because there's a lot of hot girls at church.
Good ones.
Good girl.
But that's debatable. But that's up in here. But like kind of what you said, man. Like my religion is me. When you said there's something higher than yourself.
Yep.
See, I'm actually the anti that. I think there's nothing higher than yourself. I think everything comes from within, and we have the power of everything. And giving it to someone else is not a good thing.
But the someone else that you're talking about is part of us. That's it. Like he created us in his image. So you're the same. He's inside of you.
That's what a religion's going to tell you. I don't agree. I think we're just a bunch of apes floating on a rock, and
that part of it's true.
There's nothing out there, but we are the power. Everything is within.
But
we are God. I am my own God.
But we are. Christ is part of us, and He is God. He's inside of you. But let me just say this.
How's that the same?
let me say this. Like you talked about, maybe I'll go there to go check out girls or whatever. Like, I'll go to church just to sit.
My girl's gonna listen to this.
Like, I go to church just to sit in the presence of the people that are in praise and worship. Because to me, that's the most powerful point. Like, part of the church is when those people are like, they have their hands raised and they're giving themselves to God, and then you could just feel that energy, man.
That's what I say. They're giving it to something else. They should keep it in themselves because they have all the power within.
Or they're taking it back. It's like it's a loving relationship, man. Like it's a love relationship. Like you're giving back. It's a love relationship.
Where you at on this, Coleman? You're the deep philosopher.
Hey, I just need God's grace, man, and I'm glad He has grace for me because, I keep making the same mistakes over and over, but I don't want to.
Yep.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Doing the wrong things can be easier and funner a lot of times.
Human.
Yeah.
We're human.
And that's where I respect other people's journeys. Like we're all on this journey in life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We all got our own shit, something, whatever empowers you. Whatever makes you feel stronger, it gets you through the day. And that's all I want from people is like, I want you to feel powerful. I want you and everybody to feel the power to do what you can do in life and get your ass out of bed, get fucking sober, whatever that takes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, my God, He guided me through that fire, and I still to this day I have no idea how I did that because, I was in there for 10 freaking minutes, and the black shit they saw in my lung when I finally got to the hospital, they'd never seen so much.
We hear stories like that. That's when motherfuckers like me are like, man, is there a God?
Can you share?
Can
you share a little bit of that story? Do you mind to share it? Because I think it's a beautiful story. Like in terms of like how you got out of that and
it's one of the most powerful stories.
It's powerful.
That there is.
This is such a blessing. Like Don Fry sent my daughters a text as I'm laying there dying, saying, "I'm glad your dad's still alive, but I kind of wish he was dead, because that's the best way to go out." Fucker. And I get it.
That's just a hard guy.
I want to do it again. That high was like like a fighter high, closest thing to a fighter.
The adrenaline. The adrenaline from it, that just, it's...
But, yeah, so I might as well just tell it, so...
Yeah, I want to know how
You know, I went home to visit my parents. I'm sober. Going home to visit them more often. Took my dog, Hammer, my first dog ever. He was 11 months old. I couldn't believe how much I loved the dog, man. I never had a dog. He watched me do these 12-hour nonstop exercises, yoga, switching, walking, this and that, advanced walking, you know, carry the weights in your hand, walk backwards, walk sideways. I just keep adding new twists. I got new stretches that I do every day. I mean, I could almost dislocate my shit now. I mean, it's all about your mind relaxing and breathing into those muscles. It's amazing how far you can go. It's never ending. But what was I talking about?
Oh, it had happened.
The fire.
So yeah, we went home and took some ribs and cooked the ribs up in the oven, went to bed, 4 a.m. I always have nightmares my whole life, I have. But I'm in the middle of a nightmare and I heard a big thud and I woke up and I'm dripping in sweat. It's not necessarily from the house the house is hot, I think, but I'm sweating from the nightmare, this and that, but I'm lost, man, because it's pitch black in the room. I have a nightlight usually, but I didn't have one, and I'm just, something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but something ain't right in the house tonight, and I didn't know the Hammer jumped underneath the bed. Something woke me up, and then I felt my way to the hallway, opened my door, the moonlight was coming in, so now I have a little bit of light. I looked down at my mom and dad's room down there, and it just looked creepy, man. I didn't see no smoke or no flames or nothing, but something ain't right. So then I walked out. It's just an L-shaped house, so my parents' room's way down here. I took a little left, and now I'm heading out towards the living room, kitchen, and the other room, dining room, whatever you call it. But I see these two big clouds of, I don't see smoke. I see two clouds, man. And, I'm thinking the devil's coming for me tonight. You know, that's what it didn't look like smoke. It just looked like two clouds, and I'm freaking out. I can't figure out what's wrong, when something's wrong. So I grabbed the doorknob, opened the door, because I want to get out if somebody comes running out after me from the kitchen, the devil. So I grabbed the doorknob, and I burnt my hand real bad. It was hot as it gets. And then I said, oh, fuck, something's big time, but I still didn't figure out what's going on. And then I hear a glass window fall from up above. And for some reason, it just clicked. It's a fucking fire, and it's inside the walls. I've seen it on TV, probably. And so I just had hip replacement like less than 3 weeks earlier, so my 5th one of the year. So now, boom, I gotta hurry. I gotta get my mom and dad out. And I got to get my dog out. So I go down, I yell, Mom, Dad, 5 times. Mom, Dad, no response. It's the sickest feeling I've ever had in my life. They're already dead or they're unconscious and I can't get them out. The only way out is into the fire now. It's the only way to get them out. But then finally my mom said, what? You know, she thought I was doing a crazy Instagram video at 4 a.m. You know, so that's why she didn't answer me. Let's go, the house is on fire. Hurry, get up, we'll just put it out. No, we won't. Get up, hurry. And then my dad came around, I grabbed my dad's arm, he's got my mom, and now the smoke's coming big time. You know, it's night and day, now it's here. It's on, no flames, smoke, and I'm guiding them down the hall. It's hot, man, the smoke's hotter than fire, is what I heard. And, you know, I'm getting burnt, you know, but I'm guiding them down the hall. I get to the garage door, I turn around, and my mom didn't come with us. And what the hell? And it's like, oh my God, whole change of plans, because I got to get down and my dog. Mm-hmm. And now I got to go get my mom. I see her down, I can see through the smoke, her outline. She's just standing there. She got asthma really bad, so there was no smoke in her bedroom. She was probably afraid to walk into the smoke. But, oh my gosh, so now I got her, and now I'm guiding her down the same route, but I fell off into an open door, and I didn't panic, but I'm like, oh no, I'm completely lost direction. I have no idea where I'm at. And I open my eyes, and there's moonlight coming through I was in the bathroom, moonlight coming through the bathroom window, and I looked over at my mom. It was the scariest thing I've ever saw, just like you see on TV, just smoke. Oh my God. And for a second I said, not gonna make it. And I didn't mean me, because I can go out the bathroom window.
Yeah.
But then I got to turn around and watch my mom burn. So it's just disastrous. But then here's where God guided me. I took a step, and it was the right step. And then I got my mom out. I went back in for my dog, and this is crazy. You know what I mean? I'm taking a big risk. But I got down, he's under the bed, so I swipe here, nothing. I jump to the end, I swipe again, and then I'm going to jump to the third side. He's got to be over here. But then I took in a big one, and I fell into the bed. And I'm like, fuck. But I'm still planning on doing it. I'm going to stand up and go over here and find him. But when I stood up, I took in a real big one, and I fell into the bed. So now, I realize it's crunch time, man. You might have waited too long, and now I got to get out. And God guided me out of there. I got to the garage door. I got to get through the garage. The flames are coming across, and I got through, and just euphoria, man. Just like, oh my God, I'm not permanently hurt. I know I'm hurt, but it's not permanent. And I was so ecstatic. But then I turned around and see the house is gone, and I think about my dog. So just emotions are all over the place. No fire department there. We live out in the country, so in 15 minutes it took them. But then they got there, and I said, come on. I was showing where the dog's at. And they're like, no, you're going this way, dude. And they pointed out towards the ambulance at the end of the driveway. I remember just walking by myself to the ambulance. I don't know why they weren't up there getting me. They just got there or something, but I just couldn't believe it wasn't a nightmare. It was real. And then I laid down in the ambulance, and I said, hurry up. I got to get back out there. And then I blacked out from that point on. I didn't go under, because this was tightening up. This was getting smaller and smaller. And I didn't go out, but I don't remember. So they drove me to the hospital in Fremont, and they realized they ain't got the equipment there. So they life flighted me to Toledo, and then they got in there, and they finally went down and looked, and they couldn't believe it. You know, just nasty. But they got this machine. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, and it blasts the shit off your lungs. And sometimes, and they said they were able to get like 95% of it off.
Jeez,
Otherwise, long recovery.
Oh yeah.
But as it was, back in the gym on Monday, brother.
That's what I was about to say. I called you while you were at the hospital, FaceTime on your daughter's phone. And first thing you said was, don't worry about me, I'll be at the gym on Monday.
But, so I remember that they kept me sedated for 2.5, 3 days. But then I was fighting tough motherfucker. And they could see I was getting better. And then finally they shut the sedation off, pulled the shit out. And I woke up, and they told me the whole world was praying for me and shit.
100%. It's a lot of love for you.
And just overwhelming, like nothing ever in my life. But that's it.
There's a huge outpouring.
The whole
You're a
world,
loved
the whole
motherfucker,
world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always say it. I got the best friends in the world. That's why.
And your parents, they got out,
Never
no issues at all.
None. And then, yeah, I got the best friends in the world, and that's why I try real hard to treat them good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that, man. That's a powerful story.
And you still feel any effects from it at all?
I don't think so. Maybe the eyes a little bit. Just seem itchy still.
Yeah.
But lungs, no.
You know, man, you've got a really, like, you and I have talked a little bit in the past. You know, you've shared some stuff with me in the past. And, man, you've got a really interesting story, like your life story, not just like these.
Oh, it's going to be a movie, bro.
It's
be the best movie ever.
The best movie, like, if I can ask, like, what was it like working, like, or seeing yourself being portrayed in the Smashing Machine? I mean, what was that like? What, like, to me, again, I've heard your story from you, and it's an amazing. It would make an amazing movie. But just seeing that part of you that was being portrayed in the Smashing Machine, like, that was a great movie. What did you think? Did they nail it, or?
No, not at all. But no, it was super cool. But
Yeah.
I'm greedy.
Yeah.
I wanted the whole movie about me.
But I think that.
But didn't they originally come to film you but then they discovered Mark Kerr? Was I wrong on that?
No. Mark Kerr's college buddies became movie directors, this and that, and they followed him around for 6 months leading up to
the documentary.
Leading up to the Grand Prix, and I'm in the Grand Prix. I'm his coach a little bit, manager a little bit. So they just filmed me and him, and then
I got you.
And then I happened to be on a 3-fight losing streak, so. When that happens, you put the booze down, you slide it away, and for that 6 months, Mark
Give you a little kick in the ass.
Mark Coleman was humbled from 3 ass whoopings, humbled, knee surgery, chump, just like that. And then
what fights were those? Do you remember?
Blake Smith,
Mm-hmm.
Pete Williams, and then Pedro Hizzo, which I beat Pedro Hizzo. They wanted me out of there. I beat him, no doubt about it. But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Cut, and Japan picks me up. But little did they know, they didn't want me to win that shit. They didn't like nothing about Mark Coleman. Old, ugly. No, they didn't think I had any charisma to carry, so. But little did they know, when I do train, I ain't getting beat. My career was, I call myself a journeyman. I put it together for sure. Certain, I should have been getting better for like years straight, but I'd get good and then I'd fall all the way down and have to climb all the way back up. So it's very disappointing. I accept it, but
Matt said you never officially retired. He said you never officially retired.
I never will. I mean, if something
Could
comes
be any
up.
day, bro.
I mean, would you do, like, you see, okay.
Not MMA. I'm not going to do that because of my hips, but
absolutely.
I'll do some boxing. With
But yeah, that's what I was going to
somebody
ask
for
you.
sure.
If somebody can,
Celebrity boxing, I'm going to do that for sure.
I mean, we've seen a lot of that. I mean, like, you see, like, Jake Paul challenging everybody that, like he can. I mean, and
Why not?
somebody showed up.
Why not, though?
I mean,
I think he's pretty damn good.
he's a smart guy.
I think he's as tough as they get, man. He took that punch and got up off the ground with 2 broken jaws. I mean, I got all respect for that guy.
Yeah, that's a
All
tough
that
one.
money he's got, and he's out there doing this, that's courage.
It's a tough one.
But
that's something you.
I just want to compete. Competing's been my whole life since I was a little kid, man. I wanted to compete. And there's plenty of things I can compete at out there. Doesn't have to be MMA. I would like to, but I'm not going to risk my hip popping out. You know what I mean? But I would love to. And I think if I didn't have the 2 hip replacements, I would be doing MMA somewhere for sure. Why not? And I would do RAF wrestling. I'd be on there all the time. So that's what I like to do, man. That's what I like
It's
to
in
do.
your blood.
What do you like more nowadays? You like striking or wrestling? Watching?
Huh?
You don't really like watching wrestling too much, right?
Well, RAF I do.
Yeah, it's good, right?
I like the best of the best, but I can't pay attention to like some college wrestlers that I don't know, you know what I mean? So I don't follow it enough. But RAF, that's exciting.
That's
That's
good, right?
badass, yeah. And I did do a wheelchair boxing match about a year ago now.
Yeah, we had some fun there.
I saw that.
I'm gonna tell you what, that was the most exciting 3 minutes I've had in a long time because it was supposed to be for fun, but at the same time it was real, and there was.
It got a little real, didn't
Well,
it?
it's hard to take the dog out of the fight. I mean, if you've got that in your blood.
It was all I could do not to drive one through his head. I did hit him plenty hard. I dropped him a few. Well, our wheelchair broke, so we did wheelchair. That went real well. But then 30 seconds left in the third round, the wheelchair broke. I just had hip replacement. Fire 3 weeks earlier, but I just had another one 3 weeks before this wheelchair boxing match. So I stood up, and I'm fucking nervous, like, oh, it's a fresh hip, but I just couldn't. Come on, he got up out of his chair, and then it was on.
I watched that.
And he went down.
You guys did some of that was a fight circus, right?
Yeah, over in Thailand, yeah.
That was some pretty
we had a
awesome.
blast over there, man. It's my favorite place in the world.
Huh?
Thailand's my favorite place in the world.
Pretty
We had a good time, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was good. We're going back soon, though.
I hope so, man. But we're going to Colombia next.
Colombia for more stem cell, and in about a week or so, that's a beautiful country.
Yeah.
And stem cell is an amazing thing. Stem Cell International, top of the line, trying to compete with the big boys, but they don't play around. It's all,
Matt and I talked about
these guys getting the stem cell out there, getting it cheap.
Yeah.
Well, you're not getting stem cell. If you want stem cell, you're going to have to pay a little bit.
What have you felt from it?
Yeah.
So, because how many times you went there now?
2 now.
2?
I do so many things to be healthy.
Yeah.
I can't give one thing the credit.
Yeah.
Everything about me just feels amazing. But I had two tears in my knee, and they shot stem cell right into the 2 tears. 5 months later, they went back in, and both tears were completely healed up. So that blew my mind, knowing it could do that. But just in general, it seems like I recover faster. Everything just feels stronger, healthier.
I've said that about stem cells for a long time. I don't know if I ever told you. Remember my ankle back in the day?
Yeah.
Remember I'd tape that son of a bitch every freaking day?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't walk through the damn grocery store, I remember I'd take my kids to the fair one year, and I had to sit down every 5 minutes.
It was scary, man. Your ankle was bad, but then all of a sudden, stem cell, right?
I got the stem cells, and about 3 months later, I've never felt pain in there since.
Nice. Yeah.
Nothing at all. I still don't have as much mobility, Like I still, my dorsiflexion is not perfect, but I felt no pain.
I stretch my ankles so hard every day.
Every day, yeah.
I stretch them.
The doctor was telling me the other day that's probably my back. It starts in my ankle.
What?
My back. I've had the back issues for so long. He said a lot of that starts at your ankle.
Yeah, well, the whole body runs together.
Because your dorsiflexion isn't there.
Yeah.
So now your knee's taking that pain.
Yeah.
My knees have been reconstructed twice. So now my hips got to take that.
Oh,
but
man.
then now when your hips get fucked,
That's what I got right
everything
now. Man. My hip right now, man, it's a year and a half. You know when that happened? Was running those stairs at Allen every day for like 40 minutes a day.
Allen or Hoover?
Allen Creek.
Hoover.
No, Allen Creek. The ones that's 120 stairs up.
That's
What that do to you?
Well, my hip, it's seized up, man. Like when I'm sitting down like this, if I go to stand up sometimes, I'm like, I'll have to catch myself to get to stand up.
Yeah, I got you. That's age, but I wonder why there's something you can do about it. Because like I said, when I checked in the hospital, I was the weakest, most pathetic thing you could ever imagine.
And you were probably a lot stronger than you think you were.
No, I
felt you when you were in your
still strong,
drunk days, bro.
Strong for 10 seconds, so I still was strong. But no, everything hurt. I couldn't throw a punch. My shoulders were shot, knees, boom. I brought everything back just by using it and using it and using it and stretching it. My shoulders are amazing.
That's kind of what I was talking about earlier, man. I don't think people realize the amount that you were drinking and that you were doing. It would have killed 5 other men
every day.
And you're a freak of nature. The amount of strength that you still had. You come in the gym yelling at us all drunk and shit and having fun, but I would feel you, and I was just blown away. I was this dude this strong.
I didn't work out. I didn't work out one time in 12 years by that time. 12 freaking years. But then Oh my God, it's just been so fun coming back, man.
But I think that muscle
memory for sure.
It's the chest, who you
the
are.
chest is the hardest thing to bring back, man.
Yeah.
That fucker sags real quick. Trying to get it back up.
That's when women have the ability to do that.
Are you on any hormones nowadays?
I take
TRT?
250 a week of
So I think that's like a
testosterone.
Kind of a topic that people are shy to speak about.
I mean, we denied it once.
You
You cheated. I didn't fucking cheat. I never flunked a drug test in my life.
Well, I mean-
I never flunked a drug test in my life. I did steroids. What the fuck? They weren't tested for it. Everybody else was doing them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Except Dan Severn. He likes to complain about it. Well, you should have did them, Dan.
Dude, I wish I would have done them before USADA was in, because everybody else was doing them.
Well, I mean, you hear a
And
lot of
I
people
wish I
talk
would
about
have.
they should let them do it.
I was trying to be
Well,
that
this-
moral high ground motherfucker.
When you
Like,
got-
I don't need to do that.
When you got the high tech doctors, there's always ways
Always
to still
a
beat
way.
it now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's my issue with USADA is it favors the people with money,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's still doing shit. It's just can you afford to
over
be
in
the
Russia?
test?
They're not sending tests over there to Russia. You live in Russia,
Right.
out in the, so
Right.
you
Can
can
you
get
imagine
away
some
with
USADA doctor coming up in Dagestan? You know?
it. Where's Khabib?
Yeah. The fuck out of
Well,
here.
I think to your point, that's a good point. I think that you just brought up a good point. Is that they're not? It's about money because they're not going to take their top guy and
Right.
say the guy that's bringing the money in on pay-per-views or whatever else, and making the machine money and say
Bro,
they're going to be like, dude, you're the fuck out of here. What
Bro,
are you
I know
talking-
people that have had people killed in Thailand for like less than $5,000. You gonna tell me you can't pass a fucking piss test when
Yeah.
you're over in Thailand?
Yeah, that's what I
You
mean.
know what
That's
I
what I mean. It's just a money machine. I mean, hey, like, and speaking of that, what do you guys think on like a different topic about like the UFC going from like pay-per-view to Paramount? I mean, do you think that's a blessing, or do you think it's a, or it's like it doesn't even matter?
It's just Paramount. They're having problems. It's such a it's smaller. They're not very good. And they got to show a hell of a lot more commercials now to get their money. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more. So there's a lot of complaining to be due, but
I could do with those commercials for a $10 a month.
Yeah,
fucking-
you want to pay 90 or you want to pay 10?
I'd rather pay 10. It's
Yeah,
like, I didn't
yeah, I'm
mind.
with you, yeah.
I think the only thing, okay, like last night, I liked the fights because they weren't taking up the corners with like the commercials overlaying during the corner time. And
Oh, they didn't?
No, and in 324, they were doing the overlays with the commercials, and you couldn't hear the corner talk or any, and that's an exciting part of the fight.
No, you definitely won't see the corner time.
And
Yeah.
well, they put the lower
And the
thirds in,
walkouts.
and it was great. Yeah, and the walkouts. I mean, that's all.
But
part of the,
here's the only thing that matters though. Like that's kind of the big topic of conversation right now is the commercials and all that. Like, do the fighters get paid more?
yeah, exactly.
That's all that matters. And without pay-per-view points, I don't know how they get paid more.
yeah.
You know, I mean, you know what?
Gaethje said
Gagey didn't like it, did
he ain't getting more.
he? Until Dana clearly had a talk with him, right?
I think they have to work,
He
but
can't-
don't you think they have to work the kinks out of it? Kind of like, I mean, obviously, if you're doing a deal that big, you should have it laid out to where, well, how's this going to benefit our fighters in the long run? You know what I mean?
They
Not just
don't
let's
give a
sign
fuck
this or
about that.
whatnot. I mean, and to your point, like, how do you pay the fighters if
Well,
they're doing those kind of commercials? That's a big deal. They're billions of dollars,
Well,
billions.
The other problem with this deal is now Paramount, they're giving all the VIP tickets away to their people, so
Okay.
it's harder for the fighters. Me, I like going to these shows, and
Yeah.
they've always taken care of me, but it says in my Hall of Fame contract or whatever it's called that I get 2 tickets to any show I want to go to, so they really ain't hooking me up.
Yeah. I mean, no, not at all. 2 tickets and you're
But
a Hall of Famer, first UFC.
but I couldn't get them to the last show. You know what I mean? Where's my? I'm not complaining, but
That 324.
yeah, I couldn't.
I thought you were there.
I bought my ticket.
No shit.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to get 2 to any show I want.
I mean, that should just be like on your doorstep.
But
I
it
mean,
is what it is. Paramount's giving them all to their buddies now, and they just
You bought your ticket?
yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the UFC is the whole thing. It's a mess, bro. And what we could do, I think in the future, like we might do a full episode on this where I want to break it down where people understand the behind the scenes of what's
Yeah.
actually going on. A lot of stuff that's come out in the lawsuits, the discovery. well, I'll at least have one of the guys on who's, lawyers
Yeah.
that understand even better than me, right? But once you are you on the WhatsApp thread, Coleman?
WhatsApp?
Yeah, there's a thread with all the fighters about the lawsuit. Maybe you should add you on there. Oh, I guess you're not in the lawsuit. It's probably why you're not on there. You were before that, but I learned so much.
I missed it by 3 months.
3
If
months.
I'd have fought one more time.
Man, once you learn what's actually going on, it's a mess, man. It gets real bad.
I mean, do you mean like a mess just in terms of like obviously it's a payout mess, but like in just like, or do you think it's like, are you talking about like how the fights are structured and set up for you guys to
That's one
fight?
part.
It's like the lineup, like, hey, I should be fighting this guy, not this guy fighting this guy, or is it just a money thing, or is it just chess for the top end to be like, you guys are the pawns? And
All of the above.
It's interesting.
Yeah. The main issue, which we'll keep going with you, Coleman. I don't want to take over the whole thing here, but the main issue is a promoter controlling title and
Your
rank.
restroom closed.
Yeah, right through there. A promoter controlling the title and the rank. So the promoter decides, it takes it from a sport to entertainment.
Okay.
Just like last weekend, the title fight, Gagey and Pimblett, right?
Yeah.
Like Armin's on 11 fight winning streak, and he doesn't get the title fight. It's an interim title, right? The Ilya, the Ilya vacated. But regardless, look, Gagey was number 4 in the rankings.
Yeah.
Pimblett, who beat Michael Chandler, got to number 7 somehow. But even if that was a good ranking, which it wasn't, number 4 and number 7.
Who's more of a marketable fight?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? So they're saying, the number 4 and 7 guy are the most marketable guys, so we'll put them in for an interim title. Not the guy who's on 11 fight winning streak smashing everybody.
Oh yeah. But that's interesting because that essentially they could take any fighter they want and say, this guy's got personality,
Exactly.
he's got charisma, he's a showman,
Exactly.
This and that, and let's this is what's going to happen,
Yep.
and we're going to get. I mean, and you can do that.
And look, I don't. The one thing I always like to preface this with every time is I don't hate the UFC, or I'm not like an anti-UFC for what they've done. They run an amazing business.
Yeah.
They did a license with Paramount for $7 billion,
Yeah.
almost $8 billion. You can't hate on for that, right?
No, I think it's a great thing, man, for people that can't afford $100 a month and you got to pay $13.
Yeah.
Like we've watched
and it's
back-to-back
even greater
UFCs.
thing for the UFC.
Yeah.
Right, because I got
Oh.
$7 billion out.
hell yeah.
Right, but the fighters are the ones that get fucked.
Yeah.
Because UFC has monopoly and they are promoter controlling title and rank. Like they lost the lawsuit because they have a monopoly.
Okay, let me ask
Like-
you. I have a question. I'm asking you this, but do you think part of that the pay is, it's almost like to keep you hungry until you get to a certain, you know what I mean? Because if you're not hungry, if you're not like we talked about this in the past, like a lot of these fighters, they don't come from anything. When you have to like rocky your way to the top, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're more hungry to fight. You're more hungry for the money. You want to get paid. You
Yeah,
wanna pay
which
your
works
bills.
great for the UFC.
Which works great for the UFC, but that's my point.
Yeah, it doesn't work great for the fighters.
Not for the fighters.
Yeah.
But like, do you think?
But that's the only thing we should care about, right? Why do we care about a?
But do you
big
think that if they
corporation?
paid them right out front, like and said, hey, okay, for example, like college players are now getting paid in football, right? Do you think that's going to make like hurt college football or make it eat better? Like, okay, maybe these guys don't. I mean,
So, kind of what you're getting at is the UFC should do this or the UFC should do that. The UFC controls everything. They have the monopoly. The problem is the legislation where the UFC is allowed to be doing what they're doing. What would be the proper way would be an a competitive marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's anti-competitive. A competitive marketplace where one bids against another. This is how boxing works.
Okay.
And boxing has its own problems, I know. But look, if John Jones and Francis Ngannou want to go fight, they should be able to fight. Not fight because the fucking UFC doesn't like Francis Ngannou.
yeah,
Right?
Okay, yep, fair point.
And multiple promoters should be able to put out a bid and say, we will give you $10 million to fight. And then the next one come in and say, we'll give you $20 million to fight.
So just fighting under the UFC umbrella.
That's what I'm saying. So they control all that. And who even talks about Francis Ngannou now, other than his he did the boxing matches. But MMA, who even talks about it? Nobody. Because UFC has the marketing power. They control the title and rank.
Okay.
Like, Ngannou's not considered the number one MMA fighter in the world right now, even though he's probably the best heavyweight MMA fighter in the world right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
But the UFC controls all that. So now there's no way that he comes to MMA and makes money because there's a monopoly.
Yeah, exactly.
And they control title and rank with a monopoly. And again, if you're the UFC, this is a great deal, right? Like this is how you run a business, right? You pay your people the least amount possible, right? Obviously, you don't, there's moral and ethical shit you can get into with that, but right, you want to lower the cost as much as you can. That's why everything's built in China. And you want to make as much as you can off of that. It's called a profit margin. It's a simple concept, right? But the fighters are the ones I care about.
Yeah.
Right? The UFC, I respect them for what they're doing.
Absolutely.
They're running a business, running a great business. But they should not be allowed to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's legislation there. That's the fucking shit-ass politicians that they're in the pockets of.
Like the monopoly.
Allowing them to have a monopoly.
Yeah.
And again, they just lost a lawsuit saying that they're a monopoly. Like, it's not even questionable. You know what I mean?
It didn't change anything.
Not yet.
Yeah,
not yet. There's whether it will or not, I don't know either. But that lawsuit was specifically they settled because they said, okay, we need to get these fighters paid. Now there's another lawsuit for what's called injunctive relief, in which case the actual laws would change, and there's multiple other lawsuits that are.
Well, I think that's what happens is they have to fight these, even if they're in the wrong. They have to fight it because if they lose it, then it's going to keep opening up other. And other, and they're going to just, it's just going to be
and that's why they settled it for pretty low again, and then we should do a whole podcast on this at some point. And I'll bring on one of the lawyers. I have multiple of them that I know. I was actually just on one of their podcasts recently that actually follow it and understand this stuff, understand the law, all the details very thoroughly. Mm-hmm. And it's very fascinating stuff to me. I don't know, fan people may not be quite as interested, but if you care about the fighters, then, it should be something people care about, at least to some extent.
Well, 100%, if you're backing your fighter.
And really another part of what I care about there, and I think Coleman would agree on this, right, is look, do we want the Gable Stevensons coming in? Do we want the fucking David Taylors, the Sedulayevs? Do we want guys like that? Are they going to come in for a fucking $100,000 or $500,000?
Yeah.
No. Why do these sons of bitches? I mean, not those wrestlers guys I just mentioned, but why do these guys all go to boxing? Because you could possibly make $50 million, $100 million.
Fight or do celebrity boxing where you walk away with $98 million.
Yeah. If you want the highest level athletes in the world, you got to pay them like they're the fucking highest level athletes in the world.
100%. I think they should.
Or they got to at least have the potential to make that money.
I'll go out on a limb here. That Gable Stevenson, he's gonna be a hard.
You ain't going out on a limb.
He ain't gonna get beat. He may get beat, but it'll be a fluke.
I said it the other day. A bunch of people were giving me hate for it. I said he'd win the heavyweight title tomorrow if they put him in.
I think so. Yeah. Well, Jones.
Well, they're friends. They're not gonna fight. Jones doesn't have a title.
That'd be a hell of a fight right now.
That would.
It'd be a hell of a fight.
Now Aspinall, I think would be a hell of a fight with Gable right now.
I think he takes him down in pounds.
I agree.
Man. It's that simple. You can't do nothing on your back.
I agree.
It's over.
I agree, but I'm always saying like Aspinall would be a challenge for him right now.
But his
Gable.
wrestling, you see, back in the day, everybody like, this wrestling, look, just give us some time. These idiots will learn they have to stop the takedown. Well, it's pretty damn hard to get a takedown now. For anybody can learn how to stop a takedown. But now, who's elite? But Gable Stevenson, no, you ain't stopping his takedown because he moves like nobody else.
I got so much hate for saying that, and I think a lot of it's because these guys haven't been around real athletes, right? And when you've been around the best athletes in the world,
is just he's going to lose the bet.
Right.
That's it. Bet it, dude.
When you've been around athletes like that, man. When guys are that athletic and have some wrestling experience, man, not just fucking Olympic.
Did you see those guys he beat in the Olympics, man? I mean, those dudes were world champions, and
he didn't look like he was working his ass off to do it either. I don't remember a tough match from him, really.
as smooth as they get.
Smooth as they. I mean, they're just. I always wanted to see Sadulayev fight in MMA person.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude. You know Sadulayev? Probably not, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Him and Kyle Snyder they had a 10-year battle, but
Sadulayev came out on top of that.
9 out of 10.
Yeah. I think Kyle only beat him the one time.
Yeah, one time.
Well, they just signed him to RAF too.
Who?
Sadulayev.
Yeah, I love that.
I bet they get Snyder in there. I don't know if they signed him or not. I don't remember seeing that.
Well, I don't see why not. Of course he'll be in there.
Dude,
I think this is an exciting time for fighters in MMA. I mean, just like wrestling. I mean, it's all kind of coming to fruition. Everybody's coming up. I mean, they're opening up new doors, new levels. I mean, the competition is just incredible. What you see out there now. I mean, just
well, that's why I want to see
how it's evolved.
That's why I want to see the highest level athletes start thinking about MMA more. Right? Right now, if you're a high level athlete in high school, you're thinking about football. You're thinking about basketball. You know, you might think about wrestling to get a scholarship, right? You might think about NIL and stuff. Nobody's thinking about MMA.
No.
The highest, you're talking the top tier athletes, right?
Well,
you're thinking Olympics and stuff like that.
But you got to think too. Parents aren't like at that level in high school. Parents are kind of like have a big say and are pushing their kids in the direction that they want. And like wrestling, if you got like wrestling parents, they're going to push you to go to wrestling in college. Football, same thing. They're not going to like if you're an MMA guy or if you like fight, your parents are going to want you to go in there and like get your knock. You know,
right.
that's. I mean, you're talking about lifelong. Like that's a hard sport that you guys. I mean that's
no, I think it's a great point because I've argued that too. That's part of why we don't see as many All-Americans and stuff coming into MMA. You know, like your support system has been these great people. You know, teachers and your parents and all this, and then MMA is fighting in general, boxing and MMA. It's for the fucking fucked up people, right, Coleman?
Yeah.
Like you got to have some fucking screws loose.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for like the guy who went and got an accounting degree and wrestled, and got to All-American status, but he's actually going to be an accountant.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys just even walk into that, just even walk into the arena, I mean, without even getting in the ring, I mean, that's a whole, like, I mean, that's a thing, It's
like, I'm probably the most normal guy in fighting, huh, Coleman?
No, give yourself some credit. No, I'm just super, super happy because when I got into the sport, I was all about, every interview I did, I talked about wrestling because I was pushing my sport because we were low on the totem pole. No respect, no money, no girls, no nothing. And now wrestling gets all the respect.
Oh, yeah.
People don't want to do it sometimes, but let's be real. You can't wrestle, you can't fucking fight.
Well, most jiu-jitsu schools now, the one I train at in Dallas, Moeller MMA, they have wrestling. That's part of the program there is wrestling.
It's hard to get people to even wrestle. They won't even do it. We've done it a couple times at Brown's gym. Saturday.
But if
guy
you
came
have
back.
The first day would be 20, 25 guys. And then the following Saturday would be 20. And then there'd be 15. And sure enough, we'd be down to
I'll tell
4.
you what.
Well, those workouts you put us through, Coleman.
Well, that's me.
But wrestling. Listen, I have a wrestling background that I brought into my jiu-jitsu, and it advanced me way ahead of anybody that was like.
I'm there to create champions, not make Brown money.
Yeah.
I run him out of there, and he gets pissed.
How about the Marine that came in? This guy comes in day one, jacked. I think he's a SEAL or so. I don't know. You remember this guy, right?
Yeah.
Literally, Coleman puts him on the Aerodyne within 5 minutes. It's like, oh, you want to be a fighter? 30 minutes later, this guy's dying on his fucking Aerodyne. All respect to him, he comes back the next day.
Yeah.
But so did Coleman.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't be challenged.
And he's like, back to the Aerodyne.
Get back on it.
Never seen him again after that. He was like, not 2 days, I can do one.
Hardly anybody knows what it really takes in there.
That's a fact.
Hardly anybody.
Sure. Absolutely not. No way. It's a different...
Well, I think that's one of the things that college really
AJ
wrestling
didn't know.
He don't know. But that's one of the things.
Hey, that dude, that Malcolm guy fought last night. AJ could have whooped his ass.
Oh, for sure.
He didn't do nothing.
One of the most talented guys. He could have been the John Jones of welterweight.
Not really. He couldn't have been because he ain't got the mind. He's got the body, but he ain't got the
talent
mind.
Wise.
So could have worked. No, he couldn't.
Talent, physical wise.
Talent wise, yeah.
Yeah. But that's what college wrestling breeds into these kids. You know, when they come from that, they know how to fucking work hard. And that's what wrestling breeds, man.
It's a beautiful sport.
I'm helping coach my son's wrestling team, you know, and
heck yeah,
man, I mean, these kids, you can just see the difference in the kids that work a little bit harder versus the ones that don't. And, you know, like wrestling shines a light on that like nothing else.
You can see when somebody's stalling and when they're not right away.
Yeah.
I can see it. What are you doing? You're just hugging. Let's go. Improve your position. You gotta force yourself to get extremely tired in practice. And it's hard to push yourself that hard. Only a few can do it.
How hard were you pushing yourself back in the day, bro? Like, come on.
No, I was all in for the
with the Olympics and World Championships.
I had my alcoholism in control back then.
Yeah.
I was all in. I didn't hardly party at all. Once in a while, after the World Championships, I'd give myself a few times, but I got right back on it. But then after the '92 Olympics, I'm 27 years old. I'm absolutely in the prime of my life. And I came home. I'm going to take some time off that wrestling mat because I was sick of it. It turned into 4 years. But here's what people don't know. So it's 93, 94. I'm getting paid by Foxcatcher. Well, they called me up 95, said, Coleman, you know, you got to wrestle, dude. We're sending you $1,000 a month. I'm like, oh, crap. So I entered the Sunkissed Open in Arizona, open tournament freestyle. Didn't train. I was getting huge, though. Here's where it benefited me. Off the wrestling mats. Because I only weighed 219 pounds when I wrestled 220. I couldn't win at 198. A guy came out of retirement, and I determined I didn't think
Who was that?
Chris Campbell.
Okay.
I determined I didn't think I was going to be able to beat him by 92. And then, so I moved up to 220, but I couldn't get over 219. I'm like Kurt Angle. We're both eating all the time. We're like heavyweights. But,
Who did you have to wrestle at 220 to make it?
Well, Bill Scheer came out of retirement, and it just blew my mind because I had to beat Kurt Trost, who I'd already beaten. I already had it planned out. I got this. And then out of nowhere, Bill Scheer, a world medalist, an Olympian, he seen that I was in there, and he remembers throwing me around 4 years earlier at the Olympic training camp. So he came out, but I was a different man 4 years later. I was much bigger, and he beat me. I hadn't lost in like almost a year, international, everything, and he beat me the best 2 out. He beat me the first match, and I was just, wow, in my head, and I hurt my elbow. They taped it up real good, but I could hardly even move it, and so I got all these excuses ready, you know, but went out there, and he tried to launch me. First 10 seconds, second match, he tried to throw me, and I stuffed it, pinned him, and now I got to wrestle third match, but my elbow's bothering me. But they cut the tape off, and I'm not gonna lie, it didn't bother me anymore. I didn't tell anybody because I gotta have an excuse if I do lose. But no, it felt good. Went out there, and they didn't like me, man. USA Wrestling did not want me on that team. I was the black sheep, and Bill Scheer was one of their guys, and so we're in the third match, and I try to move that I never ever try. It was a Japanese arm throw. I just did it to slip and not get called for stalling, but I hit it and it fucking worked like a charm. I'm up 3-0 on Bill Scheer. I'm like, oh my God, I got it, because I don't give up points. But then me and him got it, and he only trained for a month, this guy did, so give him credit. But we got into a couple scrambles. Next thing you know, I look up, and it's 5-5 all of a sudden. What the fuck? I thought I got hosed big time in the scramble, but I got Dave Schultz in my corner. I go to the corner, and we're going into overtime. There's Dave Schultz. How cool is that? He's one of the greatest guys ever. But I went back out there, overtime. He's pretty tired, man, because he'd been coming. I up 3-0. He had attacked me the whole, but then so just match starts. I'm like, yeah. I shot a high crotch, and it looks pretty good. Like, what the fuck, this is too easy. And then Bill Scheer tried to reach back, and I think it's called a chancery, where he reaches back and tries to throw me. But it's high.
You were in on the high crotch.
I was in on the high crotch, but then he tries to reach back and counter. It's a dangerous counter, high risk, and sure enough, he just fell on his face, and I jumped on top, and because there was 5-5 scrambles, the refs can control everything in wrestling. I'm like, oh my God, I think I just got a takedown. Yeah, I was like, look up. Fuck! Yeah. That was by far the highest of highs right there. Winning the Olympic trials was the highest of, up till that point. I've had some that I would say.
Yeah, but then you had to go to the Olympics. That was 94, right?
Yeah, then I went to the Olympics, and I'd say I choked. I lost to 2 guys I had beaten the year earlier in the World Championships, and I took 7th, but I plan on. I lost to the Russian in the World Championship Finals the year before, 1-0. I plan on wrestling him again. He was a badass 2-time Olympic champion, but didn't make it. Didn't make it.
But you got silver at the Worlds the year before, right?
Yeah, silver at the Worlds. I took 7th at the Olympics, but then I went home, and then I fell apart for 4 years, and then Foskett. So I fly out to Sunkist Open. There's my buddy Kurt Angle, who helped me prepare for the Olympics. I used to ragdoll him. I throw him around. I was too strong for him. But there he is, and I'm bigger and stronger now, and he ain't happy to see me. And I'm out of shape, like you can't believe. And this guy's a machine. Shake hands, and he came in on a high crotch, which is not advised. And I fucking wrapped him up and popped him through for 2. And basically, that's it. So, and you can get away with stalling in wrestling. They keep changing the rules, but back then you could have as many stalling calls as you want. They just put you down. Kurt Angle put me down a couple of times, but he couldn't budge me. And then I still stall. He's got to take me down, so whatever you want to call it. And I beat him 2-0. And then, but then I come back to Columbus. I got 7 months till the trials. Okay, Coleman, just keep going, man. You're the man still. And no, the partying and the booze just had me. And then I showed up at the Olympic trial, or the world trials that year. And then all of a sudden there's Kurt Angle, and all of a sudden he's 10 pounds bigger. He's cutting weight to make 220. He couldn't get above 215 his whole life. And now all of a sudden he's huge. I'll leave it at that. And he didn't get a point scored on him the whole tournament. Beat Mark Kerr finally for the first time. And he went on and won the World Championships. And the following year I went to the Olympic trials. Didn't train one time. I draw Mark Kerr in the first round. Fuck, I don't want to lose to that guy. You know what I mean? But I'm out of shape. But I beat Mark Kerr, who's a world medalist. These are pretty amazing things that I did with 0 training. I beat Mark Kerr and Kurt Angle with not a day of wrestling practice. So,
do you think had all that been harder for you?
Huh?
If you had to work harder on those things throughout your life?
No, I had to work real hard up until here. No, Brown, I 5 years old, I was already all in, man. I could do 100 push-ups when I was 5 years old. I wanted to be a pro baseball player, a pro football player, and an Olympic champion. I wanted to be that guy.
What made you decide on wrestling over football? Every kid wants to be football.
I didn't get recruited. I was all-state middle linebacker, put dudes in the hospital weekly, but there was no social media. I went to a small school. It came time for recruiting. A couple D2 schools were offering me. I'm thinking I'm going to be a Ohio State's middle linebacker with right beside Chris Spielman. We would have been deadly.
Yeah.
We would have been deadly. But then, so I was just shook up by the lack of recruitment. Yeah. And then even in wrestling, 2-time state champ, 1-time runner-up, and then I went as a freshman. Nothing. Fucking Miami, Ohio, and Ohio University gave me partial scholarships. That's all I got offered. So I'm crushed mentally. You know what I mean? But
for OU, you would have just been partying there the whole time. So that's just a blessing. That was a party school.
No, I ain't too many goals, bro. You can party in any school. That's a myth. You don't need to be at OU to party, but was.
You went to Miami, right?
So I go to Ohio University
you did go to
for my recruiting trip. I'm in a freestyle wrestling tournament, and I won my first 2 matches. I got this state 5th place big school wrestler that I got in the finals. So he's no joke, you know what I mean? Fifth in Ohio State, big schools. But Harry Huska, crazy coach of Ohio University, a whack job, man. Literally a badass, so he will hurt you. This fucking guy will hurt you. So he takes me into the wrestling room. It was the ugliest room ever. There's that tiny little dungeon with watermarks, everything. Fuck. This is when I'm coming. But then he says, well, you don't have nobody tough in the finals. You want to roll around with my assistant coach? What the fuck? No. I mean, I got this dude ain't no joke. And well, I ain't gonna say no. I said, I guess. So out the side door comes this 6'2", 220-pound All-American from OU, assistant coach. It's a big, mean-looking son of a bitch. Head coach took off he got out of the room because this is highly illegal. And this dude came up, he didn't shake my hand, he just got in his stance. And first mistake I made was, well, let's shoot a double leg. Shoot a double leg? Hell no. He's too big and strong. He sprawled and he weaseled his way down to a front headlock. And that's Harry Huska, the master of the front headlock, who taught this guy. And next thing you know, he's choking the shit out of me. He's choking me so hard that I kind of belly down. I'm giving up the takedown. He ain't taking it. He's just fucking squeezing and punishing me.
You know, like a Schultz choke type thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But anyways, finally he takes the takedown, and I'm furious in the first minute. I'm like, this fucking guy. So we stand up, turn around, more, front headlock. This guy front headlocked me for 20 minutes straight at least. Choked me out. Not all the way out. Many times. And then finally he stands up. He said, that's enough. And he just walked out of the room, didn't shake my hand, nothing.
Nice.
And I'm fucking, you're dead, man. You're a fucking dead man, buddy. I usually say, whenever I get beaten wrestling, I would tell my dad, I said, he's dead. 1 year, I'm going to kill that guy. But this guy, I said 2 years. To this day, I've never had an ass whooping like that, ever. I mean, he beat the fuck out of me, and now I'm walking out. I'm walking to the arena, and then here comes my dad. He'd been trying to find me this whole time. They took him to the office. They separated us for this reason here, and I'm just sweating profusely. I can't even talk. I'm like, Dad, he's dead. 2 years. My dad said when he heard that, he knew it was bad because I don't say 2 years. And I walk out to the arena, and there's my dude. They're calling my name. Second call, mat number 2. Fuck. I walk out there and shake his hand, and I think I must have been a little out of it at this point because this dude comes, hits a duck under on me, gets behind me, suplexes me for 5, man. And I'm like so embarrassed, you know, because the coach is watching. He's in 5th place trip. But then freestyle, you're supposed to lay low. You just lay there. You don't try to get away. You just lay there and don't get turned. Well, I didn't do much freestyle, so I'm embarrassed for the throw. So now I stand up, and this fucker goes, wow. He launched me back again. It's up 10-0 in the first 20 seconds. And I took him down. You get 1 point for a takedown. I took him down 12 times. Beat him 12-10.
Oh, hell yeah.
Beat him 12-10. And I grabbed my shit and said, let's get the hell out of here, Dad.
What was your go-to in that day? Double leg, high crotch?
Double leg.
You were doubling everybody?
Double leg, single leg. Yeah, basics.
Yeah.
But then, let's go. Let's get out of here, Dad. And the coach he talked to the other guy. The other guy said, he's tough. Because I didn't quit. Most dudes would have quit.
Yeah.
And then I came back from 10-0 down. This guy wants me. He took me to the office. And we upped it to 2/3 of a scholarship from 1/3 up it to 2/3, which is a lot of money. But I got in the car and fuck that guy, Dad. Fuck him. But in hindsight, it was a horrible decision because I went to Miami, no coaching, no workout partners hardly at all. First year, yeah, but no coaching, and this guy would have shown me how he did that to me, how he hurt me. And I would have became a master at the front headlock.
I'm surprised you never used that in MMA much.
Front headlock.
Like a Schultz choke style.
It wasn't my go-to, man. I never perfected it. I never spent enough time perfecting it.
Yeah, okay.
So it just wasn't. I mean, I could front headlock and get the takedown, but I couldn't choke people.
You snap them down. And get
I didn't know the perfect technique to choke them out.
It's not easy.
My own fault. Yeah, but when you learn it, it's easy.
Yeah, it's a lot of strength involved.
Yeah, well, a lot of strength. Yeah, you got to squeeze and hold for a long time. That's why I didn't like it, because I didn't want to wear myself out. It seems so hard.
Yeah.
It's too hard. But really, if you master it, no, it's easy.
I gotta get better at it. I do
I
a little different
wrestled
way.
Dave Schultz. He put me. He took me to school. We're over in Russia. We get to New York, 30-man contingent to go to Russia, Tbilisi and Krasnodar, and we get to New York. They canceled the trip because Desert Storm was coming out. Dave Schultz and Chris Campbell were there pleading with the airport. We got our tickets, we got our passports, just let us on the plane. And then I'm praying that they don't get us on, because I ain't trained once, man. I'm in another binge party, and then
it's like a common theme.
But then all of a sudden, Schultz comes around and says, "Listen, everybody, if you're getting on the plane, get on. If not, fly home." I didn't want to go because I was so out of shape. I don't want to go to Russia, man. And then, of course, I'm going to get on. I'm not going to have people calling me a pussy. So 11 of us got on. 11 out of 30 get on the plane, called ourselves the Renegades, and I had one of the best 21 days of my life in January in Russia. It was 35 degrees below zero when we landed the plane. You get off the plane, you walk to the runway. It's fucking nothing. I mean, I'm a little baby. I'm only.
Where at Russia? Do you remember?
Siberia.
And
then Moscow, Siberia, and then Tbilisi.
Yep.
But oh my God, they had no food. The food was, you couldn't even recognize any
soup,
of it.
right?
Huh?
Soup.
Yeah,
Borscht.
I lost 20 pounds while I was there.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, but
they call it borscht. They eat that all the time.
No, that was all that. And then Chris Campbell and Dave Schultz, both 35 years of age, they win. Both of them win to Tbilisi, which is, there's only been 15 Americans to ever win it. They're two of them at 35 years of age. So it was a crazy trip, man. But that's when I wrestled 198, and that's when I determined I can't beat this Campbell guy. So I moved up to 220.
Coleman, we gotta get you on regular, bro.
I know.
Yeah, we gotta do this all the time, bro, because I want to hear more of those stories.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we're kind of at the end of the road today, unfortunately. You know, but bro, I want to, like, you got stories for days. I mean, you got to have your own podcast sometime.
It's coming soon.
It's coming, right?
It's coming soon. It won't be nothing like anybody else's.
Yeah.
With that JT Tilley guy, he's thinks outside the box.
Okay.
Gonna be some cool, funny shit.
Okay.
I don't really want to fly a bunch of fighters in and have to kiss their ass all weekend.
I don't blame you, bro.
I don't think you would, even if you did, man.
No,
I don't think that would be the case.
Even if it wasn't like a all the time podcast, we need to do like a series with you. Maybe we'll do it on this one, right? We'll just go through story after story, because my God, I've known you for how long now? Like 10, 15 years. And every fucking time I see you, I hear a new story.
Yeah. I gotta get my book going, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
You gotta tell your story. Like, there's a lot to it. It can help a lot of people out.
I gotta bring somebody in. They gotta spend 3 weeks with me.
Yeah.
In the car, me just jabbing, and they gotta
I
put
don't know
it
if 2
together.
weeks would be enough time. I've been, they're doing a book on me right now with this guy, and man, I mean, we probably had 20 plus hours of conversation.
Yeah, well,
but it's therapeutic too, is it not?
It is. There's a little cathartic, man. Like, you know, because revisiting some things and you know, say ask so much detail, and you're like, you're like, dude, I didn't know I was thinking that.
Opened up doors, yeah. It opens up doors. Yeah.
I got it
brings back
because of my drinking. I got to go back. I got to go back to Wes.
You might ask some other people.
And Hinkle, give me some good stories. They're like, remember this? I'm like, oh shit.
They're like, no, I don't remember that. I was a little buzzed. Good shit, my man.
Yeah.
We got to be dipping out.
So I blame the whole country of Brazil for my first loss. Because I got to fight Maurice Smith. And literally, I never took anybody lightly in wrestling or fighting in my life. But then I won them 3, Dan Severn, and I'm reading about myself. And now I got a kickboxer, Maurice Smith. And I'm like, this guy's toast, man. This is going to be so easy. And then Brazil called me up and said, well, you want to come over and do an appearance and bring one of your fighters? I'm like, yeah, they're going to pay me. So I flew to Brazil. I got 6 weeks and then stayed for a week, non-stop week of training. No, I don't. Yeah. And then they come back and said, you want to stay for another week? Yeah. Me and Randleman. I stayed for fucking 4 weeks, 30 days, non-stop. I got about 2 weeks left to fight Maurice Smith. I got to get home, Kev. And then, oh my God, that was the most humbling evening of my life.
Yeah.
Well, it's way up there still, but most humbling was checking in the rehab, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as fighting goes.
Had a lot of humbling moments, the highs and the lows, man.
Yeah, but, oh my God, I don't know how. Like, literally, no training ground, and I fought for 21 minutes. I mean, how didn't I have a heart attack? I mean, I was so fucking, I'm going to have a heart attack. And then Maurice Smith, he kicked me in the legs 50 times, man. I was blacker than him.
I trained with him. He has got some hard fucking kicks, too, boy.
Luckily, I seen every one of them coming, though. I got the weight off it every time. Because I never felt the zing until I fought Crow Cop years later. And then I was getting ready to shoot on that guy. He fucking ripped one with all my weight on it. And I said, Paul Varlitz. I didn't want to, if he kicks me there 2 more times, I'm going down. You know what I mean? It was terrifying. But I only had 2 weeks' notice. They would royally screw you. They didn't want me to win a lot of times. So if they don't want you to win, Crow Cop had 3 months' notice. He brought in a bunch of Russian wrestlers, showed them how to stop my double leg. Advanced sprawling, sprawl and circle. That's when I knew I was a chump, the first one. I knew before, but at least maybe I can get him down and pound him out. But shot, freight train double leg, he's gone. I'm like, no, it's over, man. It was over. And then finally, after about 4 attempts, the 4th one, mad scramble, nothing, stand up, I went. I just took a step backwards. He's like, that's what I was waiting for. And he just started stalking me, man. When he promised
I just watched Fedor and Crow Cop yesterday.
Oh, that's an epic.
Man. Yeah, Crow Cop was such a killer back then. I mean, obviously Fedor was too.
Well, Fedor whooped him, man. But so he promised the organization he's going to high left leg kick me. So after I took the step back, I'm like, no, you're not. He was fighting another way, so he just started stalking me. He got me in the corner, threw a left hook right on the ear, kaboom! I never felt. I was like, and then 2 more punches and I went straight down, but it was flash knockout. But fuckers, man.
What an epic time, man.
I would have liked to have fought it. I would have liked to have fought him with full tank of gas.
Yeah.
They would have been.
They weren't trying to give that to you, were they?
Oh no, they didn't want me to win that fight at all, and they blew it. Okay, so I'm 43 years old, and they called me up and they said, Shogun Hua, 3 months, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, why the hell are they giving me 3 months? I know they don't want me to beat him. He's their boy. I figured it out. They didn't think I had any chance to beat that little kid. And it was the last fight on my contract. And I said, well, how about an extension? Okay. And then about a week before the fight, they're like, $10,000, 3-fight, $10,000 a fight deal. I'm like, after all I did for this fucking company, I'm getting $100,000 for the Shogun fight. They want to take me down to $10,000. What? And I'm like, okay. you guys fucked up.
That they were going to give you a pay cut?
$90,000. I was 40.
Like
I was 43 years of age and just washed up. This and that. Here you go, 10,000. Okay, you fucked up. I ain't fucking signing shit, and I'm gonna whoop Shogun's ass.
Yeah.
And I got you by the balls because the UFC's back in play now. And if I whoop Shogun, I always came back. You know.
So you were talking with the UFC then, or no?
No.
You just knew that.
Well, I knew they were in play, so I beat Shogun. It's on, and yeah, I broke his fucking arm.
I remember.
And they
got
were,
into a
they were
shoebox.
disgusted, man. And then the shoebox attacked me because what did I do wrong? You know, what? So I took him down. He broke his arm. I had no clue he broke his arm.
Right.
And then the ref's there, but I threw a couple lazy punches.
I know you didn't do nothing.
Didn't even hit him. And then Wanderlei Silva makes a V-line towards my head. Phil, the dumbass Baroni, grabs me around the waist, and he's holding me up in the air while they're coming. And I'm screaming at this idiot. I finally break his hands, and Silva got tripped up right before he got to me. Somebody tripped him, and he fell into my leg. Otherwise, he was coming for a cave. He was just going.
Yeah.
He was just going, cave. What are you doing, Brony? You don't stand behind me as a corner man. You stand in front of me.
Sure, yeah.
You idiot. You know, but then chaos happened, and the next thing you know, Brony jumped on Silva after he fell into my leg. Brony jumped on his back.
Mm-hmm.
I got shoved up to the ropes by all the security, so I'm stuck in the ropes, and people are trying to take pot shots at me. And I looked down, and Brony and Silva had scuffled, and all of a sudden they're right below me with Silva on his back and Brony's in his guard. And I look down, and there he is looking up at me. So, Matt, what do I do? What should I do at this point?
But stop.
Fucking cave his face in, right? But
Or that.
well, that's what you said, foot stomp.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
But that ain't me, man. I'm not a maimer. I'm not a killer.
Sure.
Silva, he would have violently knocked me out if he would have had a chance. Well, I'm not going to do it. So I did pick my foot up, and I placed it on his neck, and I grabbed the ropes because I heard all the cameras clicking. I'm like, I made it look like I was pushing on his neck. It's a classic picture. But
That's
so I did that. So all of a sudden, he got real angry. He scrambled to his feet, and I'm thinking he's going to get up and come right towards me. I'm ready. I want this. He got up, and he just turned and walked back to the corner, and the whole thing was over.
I'll tell you what.
But then, Pride called me on Monday. Hey, Coleman, you wanna fight Shogun Hua rematch in America? $100,000. Oh no, I'm gonna finish my beer right now. That's what I'm gonna do. What are you gonna do? Oh, I don't know. I'm not worried about it right now.
Yeah.
You know, and then the next day they come with 150. Then they change it to 50. I said, I'm not fighting Shogun. I can fight him any day I want. That fight's a lock. I use that when I'm desperate. No. What about Fedor? How much? 200. 250 last offer. But now the UFC knew they knew Pride needed me to fight Fedor. There's the only guy that could fight him. All the other guys were tied up in Grand Prix tournaments. Nogueira, Krokop. So Dana called, and I was going through a manager at the time. Stupid, man. But Dana offered like 30-30, like 30-30, 40-40, 50-50, three-fight deal. And Pride's up to 250. So if I win them all, it's only about 250 total, all three. But and my manager says, well, Dana wants to know what it's going to take. I said, you tell Dana to come up 10,000, a measly 10,000 on all three of them, and I'm in. And the next day he calls me, he says, price at 250, last offer, 35 days, you got to let him know today. Well, what about UFC? Dana's not budging. I go, wait a minute, dude, you told me yesterday he wants to know what it's going to take, and now you're saying he's not budging. I think they wanted their 20% of $250,000 cash.
Yeah, for sure they did.
For sure. So I ended up taking that, and and then the 2 fights behind it for $100 apiece. So that's $500,000. But what UFC's buying the company. So what? And they bought it. Dana said, "We don't need you anymore, Coleman." So he made me wait about 8-9 months. And then Wes Sims did an interview saying they're inducting Coleman into the Hall of Fame when they come to Columbus. He made it up, but the rumor spread fast and everybody was happy about it. Dana's like, "Are we doing this?" So they decided to do that. And they called me up and put you in the Hall of Fame. I'm like, "Well, that's cool, kinda, but I want to fight. Fuck the Hall of Fame, really." "Well, we're not offering no fight." I'm like, but then the day before the Hall of Fame induction, they're like, "Here's the deal. Don't negotiate. Same deal, 30-30, something like that. And you're fighting Brock Lesnar." Well, thank you. I'm only weighing like 230 because I'm cutting down. I'm going down to 205. Fuck, okay. You know what I mean? But luckily, I got hurt in practice. I tore my MCL pretty good. I had to have proof or they would have cut me if I was making it up. But and I told him, "I'll fight him if you're going to cut me." "No, it's okay." But I said, "I want to fight at 205. So then they hooked me up with Shogun over in Ireland. And pretty good fight. Too tired.
I thought you beat him.
I did. I had him beat.
Yeah.
I had him beat, but I was dead in the first round.
Yeah.
First weight cut. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. It seemed easy. Didn't have a great camp, but I had a pretty good camp. But I was dead in the first round. The announcers were like, "Oh my God, Coleman's going to get killed." If you turn the volume down, you can see that I won the fight. But if you listen to the announcers, it looks like he's whooping my ass.
Yeah.
But
it happens a lot. I thought you won the fight.
It came down 20 seconds left, and I think I got the fight super close. But boom, boom, boom. We put a 3-punch in, and it didn't hurt my head, but my legs just gave out. It's just like I dropped straight down. Okay, now I'm going to grab him and take him down. I took him down 8 times that fight. But it's the referee. It's like boxing. Drop me, fight's over.
They stopped it, didn't they? I was thinking.
I only had 20 seconds left. It would have been easy. Grab his leg.
Yeah.
And, he either stops the takedown. If he tries to punch me, I'm going to take him down again. So.
Yeah, you gotta have the cardio, bro. Cardio's king.
Well, he was as tired as I was.
Yeah.
Shogun was, but then grab the ref, and I look up, I'm like, "What the fuck?" I was too tired to get up and attack him, thankfully, because I probably would have got in trouble. But
The ref was lucky.
and then I fought Bonner. I had a really good camp for Bonner. I beat Bonner.
Yep.
And then Couture was my last fight. Short notice. And like I said, after every fight, I just went down. So I had like 50 days to get ready for Couture. I tried to convince myself it was enough, but
because before you trained out in Vegas for like Bonner and stuff. Right?
Yeah. But I tried to convince myself I had enough to beat Couture, but it fell apart as he's coming into the arena. "I'm gonna put you in a stranglehold, baby," and the crowd's going nuts. I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And he comes into the cage, and I look over, and his legs look a lot bigger than they used to, and I'm like just falling apart, like, "Oh no!" And then the fight started, and that was by far my worst fight of my life. I just couldn't pull the trigger on anything. I was just out there. I don't even know what I was doing, man. So I threw one punch, left hook, cracked him right here. His eyes rolled up in his head, and I just stood there and looked at it like, "Oh, that was neat." You know what I mean? But nah. And then my doctor told me I needed hip replacement, which I didn't need. But he wanted me out of this shit. I mean, if I could take the pain.
Yeah, I know the doctor you're talking about.
If I could take the pain, I could keep fighting a few more times. But in rehab and therapy, my therapist said, "Well, Mark, maybe you would have fought again, and maybe you would have got killed." I didn't think about that. So you just gotta accept things, man.
Stuff. We're fighters, man.
But Toronto lied to me.
Yeah.
Bone on bones. Well, so what? Get a little therapy.
It's not that bad.
Well, it was.
How bad was it?
It was bad, but if I got the magic hands people $250 an hour, they just do shit to you, I'd buy myself 2-3 weeks of pain free.
Oh, wow, that
so I
good.
just could have kept doing it. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
But were you doing much stretching back then?
No.
Man, that's a game changer, right? Like doing the yoga, you're talking about. The stretching.
My stretches, each stretch should take you 3, 4, 5 minutes. It takes me 5 minutes to totally get to where I'm trying to get.
Dude, it's beautiful for you, isn't it?
I don't know. I think it is, but now I'm following these guys on Instagram. The Lever King, his name, not Liver King.
I know you're talking
the Lever
about.
King,
Yeah.
and he insists that stretching.
Bro,
he insists stretching and yoga are bad for you.
I was on that shit for a long time because there's tons of science on. You know me, like I read the science stuff all the time, and I was like, man, the stretching, like look, it's doing this, it's not doing this, but I started stretching a lot more again. And I fucking feel better.
Yeah, man. I
feel amazing.
I don't know how they say it's not good for
This
you.
Lever King.
Well, there's no. I wouldn't say.
I mean, I literally take my ankles and I can completely roll them. I can walk on the sides on my ankles.
I see you do it. Yeah, he's standing at the gym talking to Lauren, the manager, and he's sitting there with his ankles all twisted up. She's like, "What's Coleman doing up in here?" Now, if you actually look through the science or the studies. You know, there's a lot of factors to it, you know, but basically what they say is you're not actually stretching enough to create a difference most of the time.
Bullshit. I am. 5 minute stretch.
So that's the amount of pressure and time that you say like you need. You know what I mean?
Lever King
that.
says, this guy says it's bad for you. I want to.
Well, it's definitely not bad for you. Because there's like some people, like you've seen people that are hyper flexible. Like, you know what I mean? They say it's like bad for them, you know? Like you don't want to be hyper flexible, but like I'm like you, like I'm tight, you know what I mean? And stiff.
I'm not tight anymore.
I know. But before, you know, we're too tight and stiff.
Yeah.
You know, there's a balance, right? Like there's somewhere in the middle is where it's good.
Well, I'm super flexible now.
That's beautiful.
And every day I go a little bit further.
Yeah.
Like if I go down and touch the toes, it'll literally take me 5 minutes to get all the way down there to where, and then it gets pretty crazy. Like at the last 10 seconds, you go a little further, and then you come up, and then just the high.
Yeah.
The fucking high.
Yeah, I'm a believer, man.
I'm always searching for a buzz.
Dude, I'm a believer.
Well, that's a good buzz. I mean, that's a good alternative, man. It's a really good buzz.
Yeah, we got to jump, bro.
Yeah.
We got to roll.
All right.
Man, fucking great. Love you, brother.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Good shit, brother Roddy.